Hi folks, I'm Aleks U, and you're awesome. Today's video, the topic of this 15 minutes that we're going to discuss here is happiness is overrated. Now before we get into it, for the next little bit here, I've got these two avocados. Now they don't smell strong, obviously. They have a bit of an earthy smell. If you really kind of go deep, you can almost smell the avocado smell if they're ripe, like it is in this case. They're softer now. But I find that even when something doesn't smell as strong as like an orange, for example, in the case of fruit or a flower, you are trying to find, like you are really focusing on trying to find what it smells like in the case of these avocados. And it actually gets your brain even more present, because it stops what it's doing, which is the purpose of this shortcut of getting to the present moment. Because while it's processing, what does it smell like, you're being present. So another shortcut, even if it doesn't smell strong, I had these two avocados today to ground you, even if it's for a second or a few seconds, it's still a massive gain. Any moment that you can ground yourself to the moment, now here, which is the only place you will ever be in, today, right now, right here. Today doesn't even matter, because it's a pointer, and it also suggests this tomorrow and yesterday. So scratch that here, right here, right now. So let's get into the topic together. Happiness is overrated. One of the most, I say it on record, and I stay behind it, one of the biggest obstacles to actually feel joy and happiness is the search of happiness. Okay, so let's say it again in another way. The fact that we are built as a community, as a society, as humanity, now in this life that we're living in 21st century, constantly searching for happiness. I'm using these quotation marks. It's happiness, the way it's proclaimed, that search for it, that constant search for it, from the day you wake up, from the moment you wake up to the time you fall asleep, and often struggling to fall asleep even. This constant, I need to be happy, I want to be happy, what can I do to be happy? And it may not come in this text, in this context in your mind. This is the single biggest reason why we are actually feeling the other way. We're not feeling well, happy, content, satisfied, joyful, present, in a let's go with a total well-being state. The search for it, and it's so ingrained in the way we speak, in the way we behave, in the way we work, in the way we shop, in the way we communicate and be with others, through social media, through a physical present being with others. This necessity to be happy is expressed in everything we do. For example, you are at work, let's say, right? And often at work, the conversations are about, we need to find happiness in what you do. Okay, like you need to be happy at your job. Like we as a company, we wanna make it so that our employees are happy and joyful at what we do. And so let's focus on that. The problem with that is the intent might be good, but when happiness and this I will leave the word happiness because that's the one that's advertised, is searched for in such a way, we forget that we are putting it in a future state. So yes, we should be joyful in the job that we have, the work that we do, the company where we participate and give our time, of course. But it doesn't come for a drive to achieve it in the future, but it comes from an inner desire or inner drive or inner being to to be joyful and in as you doing your work on a daily moments basis, right? Not I'm doing it so that it gives me a satisfaction in the future. That doesn't work. Even if there's a goal for you to deliver a project, product, or whatever you're doing, service, and that is measured in so-called the future state, that's fine. But the joy of you doing the job and the happiness that you're gonna experience must come on a daily basis on what you do in the being that you are delivering at your work. That doesn't mean, so here's the problem. We have projected that happiness must be this state that there's no problems. Like, I don't know, this imaginary state that everything is, I don't know, like the color pink, to have a pink and like with roses everywhere and there's no issues and probably money and bitcoins and whatever around you. Or you're on a beach somewhere and the sun is shining. That is the problem. And that was the second thing I was going to say. These projections that are given to us through advertisement, through social media, through news, through other people's conversations. This is the problem, because you're starting to chase these things, right? And we are constantly getting away from the only place that you actually can feel joy and happiness, which is right here, right now, even if you're having troubles and problems in the moment. So the true joy and happiness, if you wish, comes from within you as a state of being, not as I got this, or this happened, I have this is in my havings, and then I feel happiness. No, that's not how happiness works. And we can see around us, if that was the case, especially in the Western world, that there's so much, right? There shouldn't be a single unhappy person, and yet that's not the case. Actually, the opposite is true. It's almost challenging to see an actual, real, truthfully joyful person as we interact with other humans and we see other humans on the street, which is to prove us that havings and chasing this perfect life, which is what I'm saying. Stop chasing happiness. Happiness overrated, as in, if you're chasing it, which is what we do, you will never get it. It's a fact that it's not my fact. It's a fact that I have learned by observing how we live. And so you, beautiful being, you can see it around you. And not as, I got it, I'm smarter, you guys don't know, this is how you do happiness, or how you chase happiness. You're silly. That would be your ego attesting to, yes, that's true, that method of chasing happiness isn't working. But if you're coming from this point, you're not much better, because now your ego is starting to judge that these people are doing it. No, it's coming from inside and realizing, wait a minute, what these beautiful other beings are doing isn't working, because it's not delivering happiness and joy. I'm experiencing it. There must be another way. And there is. It always comes back to you're going back inside and realizing, wait a minute. Yes, the things around me will change. I participate, whether it's at work, whether it's at home, whether it's whatever I want to be doing and achieving and gaining and acquiring. Yes, those things will evolve and change on a daily basis, weekly basis, annually. But the state of happiness and joy comes within you as you're going through these changes and experiences in your life. So first, you access this inside and realize, wait a minute, I am the happiness, I am the joy. The life that's in me is what happiness and joy is, right? It isn't coming from inside. It isn't something that you feel from inside. It's actually what you are. You are the joy and happiness. And you always will be. Even when we live like pushing it behind and covering it under the carpet and living with the ego ahead, it will always be there. You cannot undo it. You are the happiness, joy, alive, whichever word you want to use, the juice of all this, right? Without you, there's nothing, right? And even though we choose to um, often live unhappy and unjoyful. That's an experience that you're having, but it isn't who, and most importantly, what you are. So let's look at it another way. What if you, instead of chasing happiness in the thousands of many ways that is proclaimed on there, even as simple as, oh, I gotta watch this video, you are chasing happiness, right? It's a future moment, even though it's in a minute. It's a future moment happiness you're chasing. Oh, I gotta go get this biscuit right now, or I gotta go. Okay, I feel like doing going out for a walk right now. All of those, how as simple as those things are, they're pulled to the near future, as if they are going to bring you a state of being that's better than what you're having right now. And it isn't your fault. That's how we are so ingrained to live. What I'm doing right now never is important. No, to the mind, right? The next step, as whatever it is, as small as it is going to the store to pick something up, it feels like it's going to give you something that now isn't it, right? And so, because we are ingrained to live that way, this is going to be the way you're going to live unless you change, because that's how you've been taught, right? That's how the society moves. So let's step back and try something. What if for a day you try to live in a different way? You try to live from the present moment, meaning doesn't mean you don't plan or you don't have things you will do today, but you're not focusing on all the things you'll be doing today. You're focusing at the thing you're doing now, and you try, as simple as it is, it might be brushing your teeth, and try to see how much joy can I experience without any reasons. Okay, this is the key here. How much joy can I experience, just testing for myself, can I experience unconditionally right now? So that's it. That's the word I'd like you to try. Unconditionally. Okay? There's no reasons. There's no conditions. There's, to the mind, to your ego, there is absolutely no reason why I should be happy. It might even tell you you're stupid. Why are you feeling happy? You're like that doesn't make any sense. To the ego, it never makes sense for you to be happy. Your ego will never, ever get you to the point for you to be happy, because the ego doesn't have this in its program. It can reach many different feelings, but never happiness and joy and contentment and well-being, because that means it's gone. Because if you're happy and content, you're being, and your ego is not there. It's almost like it's never existed. And so after we brushed our teeth, let's go and dress for the day, or whatever the next routine is for you. And maybe it's pouring a glass of water. For me it is. And or maybe it's a bit of a stretch, right? I see, oh, okay. So I'm stretching, but my mind is pulling to the meetings I'm gonna have, or the store I gotta go to, or even if it's a weekend, to the activities I've planned. It's so programmed to do so. Do not blame yourself for your mind jumping ahead. Okay? That's another endless topic, just as the one we're talking about here. That stop chasing happiness. When you blame yourself that you're doing it, you're doing just as bad, because your brain is gonna do it, that future moment, chasing the next moment as if it's going to bring you happiness. Again, the next step, if you're eating breakfast, then make the breakfast and put all the joy, as if nothing else matters for that moment, because the truth is nothing else does matter at that moment. Now, if something, let's say, well, what if something happens? Or if something happens, if you're present, even if it's something unpleasant, because that's the ego endless game, right? Or what if something bad happens? Yes, uncomfortable things happen in this physical reality that we have. Very uncomfortable, right? But when they happen, if you're present, you're going to deal with them as they require, versus the drama you can quickly create around it that's not going to help you deal with them, right? So you put the stove on fire, for example, right? But if you're present, first of all, it's less likely it's going to happen if you're present, because those things happen when you're not there. You're doing something and you're doing this, or in your mind you are having 3 meetings while you're cooking your bread or whatever you're doing, and oh, the stove is on fire. It happened because you weren't present. But even if it happened while you're present, which is unlikely, being present is going to help you to fix the issue, whether you extinguish the fire or whatever, how the house is set up for you to deal with this kind of situation, you know, and you deal with it, and then you move on. And you might even have a laugh about it after that. Even if it got a bit of your hair, like, you're present and you're experiencing this moment, even if it's a challenge. Now, how the ego is going to do it, right? First of all, it's going to start saying things like, oh, here we go, my day's rushed, I have all those things, and now this happened, and again, life sucks, the day sucks, I suck, look at me, I should have known better, how could I let it happen? Should I continue? That is how the ego is going to deal with it. Even not only didn't experience the moment, even if it's this uncomfortable moment, right? It's a discomfort, right? You don't want to have this happen to you necessarily every day, right? Or never, really. But it happens, that's life. But when it happens, you might as well be there, learn from it, experience it, and deal with it properly in the present moment. Anything that happens to you, you always respond, however uncomfortable it might be, much better, and it's less likely to happen if you are here and now. So now you can see how going through your day, you achieve all the things you want to achieve. But being present is what's going to bring you the joy and happiness in being in all those moments. And if it results, and when it results, to an acquiring or achieving or delivering something, yes, you'll be there to enjoy it. Not it to make you happy, but you to continue the enjoyment that's in you during that moment, and the next one, and the next one. When I realized this, that the joy and happiness is me, as long as I allow it to be, to feel it, regardless of what happens around me, then it's just a big rock off your chest, understanding that I'm not chasing anything anymore. I'm experiencing it, I'm curious, I might be rushing and fast, but I'm present. You can run and be present. You can have 3 meetings back to back and be present, or whatever it is your job, or whatever it is you do, right? Understanding, knowing that the happiness and joy is in me, the things that are happening are just as joyful regardless of what it is, because I am bringing the joy to it, not it to me. That's the only thing that we need to understand, and it changes the landscape of happiness and joy. I bring joy to things, and not things and gains or anything experienced in this life to me. I bring them to them. I bring the joy to them. Oh, I can keep on talking on this topic, but obviously way over time. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are, with less ego and a lot more joy. It was a pleasure. Drop me a line if you want to discuss a topic, and we'll do that with all my heart. Until next weekend, until then, again, less ego and a lot more joy. Bye.